Yo, this is Jumping Jack Frost, and welcome to the Frost Report. Boom! Yo, welcome everyone to another edition of the Frost Report. Today is a very, very special edition because it's Black History Month. So we're going to be celebrating black culture and the contribution that black people have made to rave culture from the start all the way up to now with drum and bass and jungle. I've got some special guests with me today. Joining me today are Simon Bassline Smith, who's been on the scene since God knows how long. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that Simon is actually a DJ from the old soul days. I remember he used to play at Rock City in Nottingham and that. This is like way before I even picked up the headphones. So people out there might think Frost has been in it a long time. This man has been in it from day one, yeah? Also, I got Tania from UMC Management. She represents a whole bunch of artists. She's actually my agent and my manager and a very close friend of mine. So it's a real pleasure to have her here with us today. Also, the gentleman to my left is DJ Brockie. Owns a label called Untitled. Is an absolute legend on the scene and an all-round cool guy. So we're here today to talk about black culture in the rave scene. Yeah. So I want to start with you, Simon. Yeah. What was going back to your earliest memories of what is a DJ? What got you into DJing? What got you into the music? Well,
in actual fact, it all started for me at a very young age. I just, first of all, I used to listen to my parents playing music around the house. Yeah. So, they'd play a lot of music that, came from Jamaica. And you just sort of picked up on that sound as a kid and, tracks like The Israelites, Desmond Decker, 007, all those original tunes that, our parents would play. And so as a young kid, I then took up a musical instrument and played a little musical instrument for a while and then left that and got into sports and football. But got to about 18 and then started breakdancing. So when breakdancing started now, me and the rest of the guys, there's about 10 of us, we're all a crew. So we travel the country breakdancing, practice in the week in a youth club. Yeah. And then as time went on, it became apparent that I wasn't the greatest breakdancer. There was guys in the crew better than me, right? So I was kind of like, I had one special move and I'd be pulled out for that. But it was a bit of a joker move, but still,
it was your move.
It was my move.
Yeah.
But the rest of the guys, they were kind of hot on that thing. Meanwhile, in the background, I was buying a little bit of music, So then, when you go to Rock City and you got the breakdancing crews, and then you used to travel around the country, you realise that there was always a DJ within the breakdancers. Yeah. So, I started buying music, started buying the odd import very early, in 83, 84. Yeah. Funk and soul, electro. Yeah. Original hip hop. Yeah. And then through that, I became the DJ of the crew. Yeah. So whenever they were breakdancing, I'd play a few tunes. And then from that, because I then got really hooked on buying music. So I used to travel to Nottingham every week. Guy called Jonathan, famous DJ.
Jonathan's a very famous
DJ from them sides.
From back in the day.
Yeah.
Very famous DJ.
And I used to go there weekly and spend all my money on vinyl. 82, 83, 84, older stuff. And I used to buy like the original tracks, records, imports, 85, 86, before anyone knew what they were. Yeah. Right? And this sound was brand new then. These were like Marshall and Jefferson originally making house music on a little synthesizer and a drum machine and releasing it on an American import 12-inch, 1,000 or 2,000 of them. This is 85, 86. And then when I went to Tenerife, well, the music I was buying in '85 became pivotal because that music was being played in the rave scene. Yeah. So that's what kind of got me early on into the rave scene and playing music. And it was from that really that was the basis for my DJ career, because I went to Tenerife and played, had a residency for 3 years in Tenerife, where we played Strings of Life, Marshall and Jefferson, all the original 80s. That makes sense
now, because I remember around about the original old days when me, Groove and also, we never really saw you. You know what I mean? So you was out in Tenerife.
I built my career in Tenerife while you mans was here. So after, if you guys were around long enough, you knew there was the funk and the soul scene. Yeah. And then there was a bit of a gap. There's a bit of a gap. And that little gap there, musically, was where sort of the Aldea scene didn't really know where to go. It didn't really know what direction to go in. And it's at that point there where a lot of the sort of other kids started to get into, not necessarily black kids, but more sort of like eclectic kids, kids that wanted to just see what other styles of music was out there. They started to get into black music, black heritage music. And that's kind of the early sort of dawn of where the rave scene came from and where it came from and where it went on to. But yeah, I was in Tenerife for 3 years, and that's where, when you guys were doing your thing out here, all the M25 raves and stuff, I was in Tenerife. Right,
because I met you when you came back. That's what me and you started working together. We worked together quite a lot back in the day.
The first time I saw you, you came up. I was a resident at the Porsche Club in Birmingham. All right, and I was a resident there, and the 4 DJs on rotation were Fabio, Groove Rider, Mickey Finn, and yourself. And this was like 90, around 90.
So, Brockie, how did you first get into like music and wanted to be a DJ?
For me, it's same thing as Sai. My mum, you know, she used to like Studio One, Abyssinians, Bob Marley, John Holt, country and western.
Come on now.
Everything going on.
Come on now. Listen, in a West Indian household, you have to have some country and western.
And that's why I try to, I know I might be taking a bit off the subject, but that's why I try to explain to people about black people in general, how we view music. Yeah. If it's good, it's good. We don't care we don't care what colour person made it. If they're white, it's even better for us. We're like, wow, well done. Yeah. You're really good. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? So we don't judge it on that. If it's good, it's good. So our parents played country and western, which was white singers.
Listen, man.
Mixed with the Bob Marleys, you know what I'm saying?
Jim Reeves.
Come
on, man.
Come on.
Jim Reeves.
Yeah.
Jim Reeves.
Big, you know.
Come on, Jim.
Big in my mum's house.
That's right. So I came from that. So every Sunday, my mum would have a party, not a party, like a little mess about.
Yeah, the food I cook.
So she'd have the turntable, and I was a selector. Yeah. So I get my little 7 inches, and I put them how I want them to play. Yeah. And they'll drop.
Stack them up.
and that's how I was. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I was a selector. Yeah. And that's how we selected, isn't it? You know, we line them all up. Yeah. You know, Studio One, Trojan, like this one's going in there. And so I'd done that, and then my mum had parties, so I played for the people at the parties, sitting down. Because my mum said, yeah, man, him good, you know? That was the friends, you know what I'm saying? Him good, you know, am all right? And I'm like, is it? So I done that up until until I was in my teens. Yeah. But I was more, I was into rare groove. Like even now, I played with Manhattan. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like proper, I played with Eastman Sound, rare groove, silver stripling. You know, I mean, I used to go to record fairs. Yeah. And you know, if someone said to me that there's a Silver Stripling album in Birmingham, I'm on the train. Yeah, yeah. I don't care. I had lists of rare groove records where you could go to fairs and buy them, like £100, £200. That was my thing. I was into rare groove deeply, you know, and I got stacks of it, and I've been offered thousands for it. And I've always said no. Yeah. I got everything because I had to play it out, so I took it very serious. Yeah.
It was a serious thing.
No, it was that was our party vibe. Yeah, I know guys that you know that you was a big artist. You walk around the area. You was somebody. Like, yeah, that's my man. You're like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. Yeah, come on. So So I done the Rare Groove. I got involved with a community sound called BBM. And I was the Rare Group selector. My friend played the reggae. And then, to be honest with you, I just started to get bored. Yeah. You know, to be honest with you, I was just there every week. So, you know, we're doing a blues, we're doing a party or a little shebeen thing and running across the street with a speaker box on the higher road. And, you know, when it was 18 inches. You know,
we know that one, man.
It kind of got a bit, and then this time we're all sharing a bag of chips because there's no money. Yeah. But you didn't care. It was just the fun of it. We were broke. You know, there was no van, you know, so I've done the sound system thing and like I said, I got bored, you know, and you know, it was to me it was like it was England, but it sounds mad, but every rave it's just always the same people, you know, and it was our people, you know, and it's after a while I got like there's got to be more to it than this. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is getting a bit boring, man. You know what I mean? This is England. It's like, we're not in the West Indies, so I'm getting a bit bored of this. Yeah. So
you want something. You want to get a bit more. You got to get a little bit more eclectic and see the world. And
my friends was all involved in like not all, like Eastman's dad owned Telepathy.
Yeah, Phil. What's the man's name again?
Bill.
Man? Huh?
Bill. Yeah, Eastman. Yeah, Phil. Yeah, Phil.
I remember his dad.
Yeah, his dad owned Telepathy. So that was a massive rave, and I'm lucky that my best friend's dad owned it, so of course that's my way in. Like, Phil, you know what I mean? Don't worry, Brooks, I'll make sure you're in. Yeah. So I've done the second rooms there, and I just loved it. You know, the raves. I got into the techno. I just loved all of it because to me it was just more. It was just so different. Yeah. And it was energetic. Yeah. And you know, and people appreciate the DJs more than what I was doing, and they got paid. You know what I'm trying to say? So for me, it was just like, well, you get paid to play records. Yeah. Like, wow. I know some of that. Yeah. And you know, and everyone's looking like, or at the DJ, I'm like, well, you go my raves, they're not looking at us, they're cussing us. You know what I mean? Their backs turned to the wall and they're doing some rubbing down. They don't care about us. You know what I'm saying? So, that was it really for me. It was just more, the mixture of the culture that drove me into the rave music, you know what I'm trying to say, and the BPMs of the music, the beats, because our music reggae was slow, you know, and R&B, we weren't even R&B then, and we used to play Rare Groove was slow, you know, even old school. When I listen back to old school 167, you're like, wow, look how slow that. But by them time we were sweating. And I think, how was we sweating? It was so slow, but we didn't know any better, did we? So we was like, you know what I'm saying? I done the rave thing for about 4 years, like proper raving with my friends, Energy, Sunrise.
And then you decided I could do this.
Yeah. Then one day I just because I was a DJ anyway.
Yeah, of course.
I was always a DJ playing, you know, to different music to my people. So for me, it was just like, and one day I remember I was sitting there. I was in a rave, sorry, Soul Bells, Michael Soul Bells, and Sting put it on.
I played at that party.
Yeah, Telepathy. Yeah, I know you was there. I was there. So I'm all there with all my people, innit? Because them time we're still on like road sort of vibe. So we know Sting, innit? So bam, bam, bam. And I remember I was standing and then I remember Groove Rider came on and the way the crowd stopped and looked at him, I thought, rah, I ain't seen that before. Like proper, like the focus was on the DJ. Yeah. I've never seen that. You know what I'm trying to say? So to me, I was like, I need some of that. Yeah. I need to be up there. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's what actually drove me to not just all of you guys, really. You know what I mean? It's drove me to I need to be on the stage. Yeah. Because I need people to, you know, I want to be paid and I want people to hear what I'm doing. You're broke, your last £20, you're like, I've got to buy them tunes.
So you got to have this, you know, you need this. Yeah.
And you actually, you know, having a choice, you know, I'm going to have to walk home now, but I don't care because I've got these in my hand. When I get home, I'm going to plus them.
That's a jolly walk home.
Yeah.
It's a very jolly walk home.
So for me, it was just, the rave scene, that's what got me into it, really, all that stuff.
Tania, so you now, obviously...
Yeah, a little bit different for me.
You're an agent, you know what I mean? You're a very good agent. You've been my agent for a number of years, and you've represented a lot of artists from across the spectrum, not just drum and bass artists. And how did you? And as a woman as well, which is quite challenging sometimes in the business that we're in.
Not sometimes.
Well, all
the time.
Let's keep it real.
Let's keep it real. So, how did you decide that I want to get into this, just music in general? And what was your journey?
I fell in all honesty. I was working as a croupier on a cruise ship, and I was coming home for a vacation break, and a friend said to me, come to a rave with me. I was like, oh no, that noise, it's not, I'm not really sure that's for me.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, come, you'll enjoy it. It's good fun. It's, party vibes, we'll go. So I went along, and I know the DJ. Like you said, the first thing that you notice when you go into a rave was the DJ. The focus was the DJ.
High up, but it was looking at him.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I know that guy. I know that dude up there. She said, do you? I went, yeah, I've known him since I was about 12 years old. It's Leroy, SS.
Yeah.
So I went and said hi, and partied the evening away, went off back to my cruise ships, kept in touch with Leroy, who just set up Formation Records at the time, and him and his partner ran. Yeah, they ran a record shop called Sneakers, which was hip-hop, bringing imports in from America, mainly hip-hop and reggae, rare groove, all that kind of stuff. But they were just setting up 5HQ, which was a big record shop, selling dance music, and Formation had just been formed, and he asked me to become the promotions manager for the label. And so I did just fall in. So I was the promotions manager for Formation for a while. Leroy was already DJing, and his agent at the time was Kinetic, based in Stoke. They were surrounded with the nightclub as well. He, for one reason, was going to stop doing it. And so I just, again, fell in to being an agent. And the agency was born from there. A couple of the other DJs that worked in the record shop, they came up with the name. Underground Music Collective. I thought, yeah, I like that.
I'll keep that.
It's nice. It's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, and that's how I started.
I remember at that time, I used to go down to Leicester.
Yeah.
I used to go down to Leicester and I'd often stay overnight because me and Leroy have done some of my early tracks.
Yes.
In the studio.
Yes.
Upstairs in for the record shop.
Well, it was in a council flat before it was actually above the record shop.
Right, because I remember when I started going there, it was on Charles Street.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
And we used to go to the studio out there and put out a couple of the early releases.
It's still a record studio now.
It's still a studio
It's
there
still
now.
a studio now, and it's called HQ Recordings now.
Wow.
Yeah.
In regards to the rave scene, do you think it would be do you think it would exist or be the same without the contribution of black music and black culture?
Simple answer, no.
Not at all.
I think it would be, it may exist in some format. I don't think it would have had the success and influence that it has had on other music genres, because it's spawned several different music genres.
Exactly.
It just keeps spreading out and fanning out and fanning out.
And
exactly.
Getting pregnant and
getting
coming on.
Exactly. And I think that's all born from an influence of black music. I think most popular music today has an influence from black music somewhere.
And it would have still been where it is, but no, it would never have been so big. It's impossible. It was impossible. I remember when the sampling started, and they started sampling reggae, hip hop, rare groove. My friends that called me the devil was beside me in the rave. The street vibe, that the sampling brought the street. Yeah. You know, and that was what, to me, that's what underground is. It's about a street movement. Yeah. It's not about no middle class or no yuppie. It's a street. It has to be underground. It has to be a street movement. Yeah. It's got to start from the street.
Yeah, it has to be.
It has to build from the street to get recognised and to keep its, keep a hold and have respect.
Yeah.
So going back to your question, no, 100%, it wouldn't be. If it weren't for black influences, it would never ever have been so big. Yeah. I remember I got booked to play in me and Det got booked to play in Shinola. This is a reggae night, and we're like, oh my God, they're not gonna like us. This is pure a reggae night. Yeah. Shinola, all the big reggae, and they called for me and Det because we're the biggest thing in London and we're the street flavour. Yeah. We're on the road, they were there, Brockie and Det. All the road people told you like, get them. Yeah. And we're like, oh my God, they're gonna bottle us. When we played the reggae, the jungle tunes, they went bonkers.
Yeah, bruv. I knew they were.
I couldn't believe it. It made me feel so confident after that, seeing my people who I thought were gonna like boo. They didn't. No, they was like, wow. They couldn't. They loved it.
Yeah.
And it shocked me.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It shocked me.
We all had this thing from our communities because we're all from West Indian communities, and when we first started playing the rave music, people was calling us the devil.
Yep.
We were playing that devil music.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? It was
true.
It was one bag of passa. Yeah. Right. It was one bag of passa, as we say. Right. And what you found is in time, these same people, we saw them at the parties one by one. They all come to listen
Every
to
one of them.
the
Guilty.
devil music.
I said it.
Yeah? You said it too.
What go listening to that noise for?
Yeah.
I did it. I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I did.
Simon, I'm sure you had it too, yeah?
Listen,
So, Simon, would the rave scene exist in its form, or would it be as successful as it's been without the contribution of black music and black culture? What do you think?
No, it wouldn't be. And if you break it down and look at the elements, the people in the rave scene, what made the rave scene special was people from all backgrounds. No colour, no creed, no ageism, you know, no one's looking at your clothes, none of that.
No one cares how you dance.
No one cares how you dance, none of that. And then obviously from a musical content point of view, you mentioned house, you mentioned techno, you mentioned those genres of music, but the rave scene was the first genre of music that actually was a melting pot. There was flavors from rare groove, funk, soul, hip hop, reggae, rock,
Yeah.
you know, all flavors from...
Yep. Didn't matter.
And it's those two things that make the rave scene what it is. Yeah. You've got people from all colours, all creeds, all backgrounds, and you've got samples of music from the whole spectrum. Yeah. And so it's just a melting pot. It wouldn't be.
We're going to touch back on these experiences that we had. When we first started playing rave music, I, for one, was told that I was a devil. I know Brockie we just spoke about it. And we all had a real hard time, like, in our communities with this change, because we all obviously grew up in reggae and everything. People say, welcome to the reggae, man.
Yeah.
What?
You sell out.
You sell out.
Sell out. That's what my friends were, they were harsh.
Mate.
My friends were deep.
Yeah, mate. You know what I mean?
My friends weren't in it.
Yeah,
they were like, you sell out.
Yeah, man. The same thing.
UMC Brockie.
It's like, I had a lot of struggles with that, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's like because we was in the radio, me and Brian was in the radio playing this acid house music. People say, oh, what kind of music that you're playing, man? You know what I mean? What kind of music that you're playing, man?
I cleared parties.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But I didn't care. I'm saying play my, and like, no, I played to clear the whole party, clear out.
People just thought I'd gone mad.
Yeah.
They thought I'd actually lost the plot. And obviously, because I disappeared for a little while and gone to Tenerife, that was another reason why they thought, when I came back now, it was like, what's happened to this guy?
Yeah.
Well, he's gone mad. He's playing some mad music. He's disappeared. Now he's come back. He's grown locks. What is this? Who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know. But the funny thing is, on the flip side, I wanted to play in clubs that was playing this music. I couldn't get away in, even though I had the same music playing the same thing and blah blah blah. I couldn't get away in because of the colour of my skin.
Yeah.
And
that's 100%.
And you know,
it's
so
100%.
You know, there was struggles from both sides.
Yeah.
From your own community.
Yeah.
And then obviously there could have been times from on the flip side.
Yeah.
You know.
Would you think that because maybe you were from the Midlands as well, it was tougher for you because of obviously there's a thing like you're a black DJ, and there was obviously at that time racism still going on. Do you know what I mean? So did you feel any of that?
I personally didn't. I was lucky in the respect that being part of the scene right from the start, everybody always took for granted and thought I was from London. They didn't think, this guy's from the north. They thought I was from London because I was, you know, doing it really early on.
There's a pretty healthy scene in the Midlands as well, you know, and I think that often gets overlooked. People think it's a London thing, and it wasn't. There was a very, very healthy scene in the Midlands and in the north.
Yeah. And I think at that time as well, like yourself, Mickey, Groove, Fab,
travelling.
You guys were playing in the Midlands probably more than you were playing in London at times.
I was up that way every weekend. Do you know what I mean?
M1.
M1, Doncaster, starting Doncaster, I make my way back up Nottingham.
Yeah.
Just like work my way home. At the time, right, the rave scene was cited as a public order outrage, but our youth were unified like no other time before or since, yeah? Despite political rumblings, there was no racism in rave. Should we bring back the 1990s rave scene, that vibe, for the sake of our youth culture?
How it is now, I'm cool with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because for me, I might get a bit off subject. For me, as a black DJ, my buzz was playing in a town, and I'm the only black man in the whole town.
Yeah.
There's no black people.
Yeah.
But they come to see me.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, I should say
that is a big buzz, that is.
Yeah,
I love that as well.
Yeah, how can you not? Because that means these people, they're not seeing my colour, they're just hearing my music and they want to hear what I do. Yeah. And that for me was a buzz. You know, people don't understand that for black DJs at the time, we were breaking barriers. Yeah. You know, people don't get that. Because, you know, I've only once I've experienced racism as a DJ in a rave. And that was some place in the country, and some guys came in there and they got jealous because everyone's looking, all the girls are looking at us. I'm not gonna lie, I felt special.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at me.
Yeah.
You paid to come and see me, and I'm the only black man in the whole 25-mile area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think now when you look at today's parties now, they are heading back to how the rave scene started, I feel. So the festivals are multi-genre and they're multi-ethnic. Everybody's gone back to partying together, and you are playing alongside those contemporaries that are from other music genres, like you did back in the day in those clubs where, like I said, you had a techno DJ on and a house DJ on, and you guys somewhere in the middle, and all of you playing varying different styles, because all three of you play different styles. But everybody's back into that nice melting pot. And it's the same when you look out at the audience. It's the same. It's a nice mixed audience.
As an agent, do you think that there are not enough black DJs on the big festival lineups?
I don't think there are, but I don't think there are enough female DJs either, or MCs.
We're going to touch on that in a second as well.
Cool. There needs to be a good balance of everybody, you know? There needs to be a good balance of everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Whether music styles or ethnicity or gender, there needs to be a good balance of everybody. Yeah. Our music media that has promoted drum and bass over the last 20 years, they have a responsibility to be fair and reflective of the scene. And they haven't done that.
No, they haven't. I remember when Swift was going for Best DJ with Andy C, and everyone was like, Swift's going to win. He was smashing that year, like destroying every rave. You know, killing it. And I said to Swift, bro, if you're not Carl Cox, big and black, you're not looking good on the magazine, bro. Yeah. He lost. Yeah. What did Swift do? Yeah. He left the scene for 4 years. Yeah. Gutted, yeah.
But the awards system itself is flawed, because it's not, until we have an independent awards, and it's not an awards run by a promoter or another promoter.
Yeah, you can't really go backwards. All you can try and do is go forwards. And I think with the scene, the rave scene, the music scene, it's all about the people who are participating in it. Yeah. And even when you talk about the awards and stuff, it's all about the people that are participating in it. There's been a lot of black DJs in our scene. Mostly black DJs started this thing. And I remember when it was, there's Mickey Finn. Yeah. But there wasn't. It was a black thing from the very beginning, you know. And there was always a black DJ on the stage. And at times, there was predominantly a black audience in some of the clubs for a while, you know. Unfortunately, as we left the 1990s and went into 2000s, there were less of a black audience. And then, obviously, because the music is sample-based and you can use whatever subgenres that are out there, in a way, it got a bit about class. Yeah. Right? Whereas in the beginning, it was not about class. Yeah. Right?
I totally agree with you,
It was from the estates and it was from whatever. In fact, if you was from the Estates, cool. If you was from Harrow, cool.
Yeah, it
didn't matter. Trying to grab a certain audience that fitted where they were from.
Yeah.
And so it kind of got a little bit lost for a little while.
I wouldn't say that was a deliberate thing. Like is familiar. So they wanted to draw what was familiar to them.
What was familiar to them.
Right.
Yeah. And so, yeah, for a little while, I think it got a bit lost. I mean, there's a few things that have happened recently in the last couple of years through lockdown and this, that, and the other that have made people actually have to sit back and stop and listen and address themselves and what's going on. Yeah. And without being specific, we all know the certain things. And that's been a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been received well.
It's been received well, and it's been... I think you was quite instrumental in getting that point across.
Yes,
and I think
I had a lot to say.
Yes.
But you know, the thing about it...
As usual.
You never not.
I had a lot to say as usual. Because the thing about it, we're talking about these silly documentary things and all that, and I had to say something because I was thinking, listen, you can't whitewash us out of history.
It's not telling the whole story. And it's
wasn't
not
having it.
Yeah.
I personally wasn't having it. It just so happened, just as I started really getting started, the George Floyd thing happened. And then this whole thing took a life of it. You know what I mean? The momentum just went bow. Just so I thought to myself, nah, right? You can't get me. So, Tanya, listen, right? I'm going to come back to you on this, yeah?
Sure.
From a female perspective, there are very few female DJs and producers. Do you think that this is shifting?
Yes. I think that there have always been lots of female DJs, MCs and producers, but it takes you as their contemporaries to respect what they're doing and champion them because they have to work twice as hard as you, if not more, undoubtedly. You know, I've always had female artists on my roster, always, right, from the day dot. But they were always harder to sell than you as their male contemporaries. And I think that you guys have a duty to them to respect them for their talent and treat them as your contemporaries and your equals. Because without the respect from you, how am I supposed to do my job to be able to persuade promoters to book them because they're basing their decision not on the artist's ability. Yeah. I'm a bit of a DJ watcher. I like to technically watch. And I watched JoJo Rock mix 3 decks. I've never seen anybody mix 3 decks at this point. And I watched her mix 3 decks and I was blown away. Technically, outstanding DJ. But she never progressed in the scene. And I think that is a lack of respect from her contemporaries, promoters, partygoers alike. Right. The promoters have a duty also about a responsibility about where they bill female artists. You can't keep shoving them down the bottom. And this incessant need to put a female MC on with a female DJ. Why is that?
I'll be honest with you, until the lockdown, I didn't know there were so many female DJs.
Oh my gosh, Brockie.
The lockdown opened my eyes like, oh my God, I didn't know. I didn't know there was so many, I didn't know there was so many women that was interested in DJing to drum and bass or jungle.
So many.
I didn't know.
So
there
many.
Are so many. And
I didn't know.
And a lot of them are really good.
Really, really good.
Really good.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lockdown showed me
MCs as
like,
well. MCs.
Wow.
The girls are doing it. DJs, the girls are doing it. And I'm really impressed by
And see, that's why I think
standard.
we would endorse females.
Yeah,
and
you should.
But a lot of the younger lot won't. Why?
But they won't because if they would,
no, because
if
then
you
females
did.
are taking their spot.
Doesn't matter about taking spot. It's not about spot, is it?
How
we're
we?
a
No,
scene.
look, us. We've been doing it for long enough to appreciate. We're all household names. Don't matter what happens in our career, we can always get work. It might not be the level you always want, but we'll always get work.
I'll be honest.
As long as we live.
We get squeezed out.
Right, but the younger lot, they're like, boy, if I push these 20 girls through, that's 20 spots for gone for me. They're scared.
Brockie, I tend to think.
Problem.
I tend to think that older DJs might have that
as well.
That view, because I think the younger ones.
And if the younger ones have that attitude,
I think the younger ones are more used to this mixture of. I think that the younger ones are more receptive to the females.
And I think that's right, because if you look at the amount of female artists that are breaking through now, because their contemporaries are the younger artists, so it's you lot's fault.
Listen to me. We have to help our sisters. That's the bottom line of it. Yeah, because they're going to have it harder than their white counterparts. That's the bottom line of it. So I'm all for helping my sisters.
Yeah, you got to help.
I think it's great. I'm always there to help. I've taught a couple of women DJs to DJ over the years, and they've been fabulous.
Yeah.
I've promoted nights, and I've always had a woman DJ.
To me, the sad thing about it is that, you know, even the question for us is the right question to ask, but we as a whole, I've never ever sat down in my career growing up when I was doing the drum and bass, and sat down in a room in a hotel in a rave where anyone's ever said, ever spoke about, we don't want females in the DJ. No one's ever said that.
No, never.
Never. You see my point?
No.
No one's ever said that in my company, you know? So I've always looked at it as, you know, so does that mean there's not enough female? Back then, there wasn't enough female DJs wanting to do it.
It's about them not being recognised for their talent.
No, that's it.
The attitude always used to be that they were there because they were somebody's girlfriend, or they dressed or looked a certain way. And for me, that is tired. They should be able to dress exactly how they want. What's important is can they play?
Yeah. Can they make me dance? Can they entertain me?
But where Nigel was going,
but
the conversation that we had...
the conversation that we had, go on.
It's tactics, isn't it? And it's in this age of us calling out racism and sexism and anything else, any other ism that's going on out there.
Listen to me. You cannot bully your way onto lineups.
We've seen that happen.
I'm being real.
And I don't agree with that either.
You can't bully your way onto a lineup. Oh, you can't. And I'm seeing
what lyrics are they using to bully themselves?
No, it's about guilting promoters into not having because they haven't got females on their lineup.
If you don't book this, you're not getting that.
And that's
my artists need from 12 to 4.
I agree. That's not the right way either.
Or you get none.
It's not the right task.
I've seen it all.
It's important for promoters to recognise that they have a responsibility to be reflective. Yeah, just like we were saying about black DJs v white DJs, it is a promoter's responsibility to make sure that they reflect the audience that they're promoting to. Yeah. And in the same way, they need to reflect that in terms of gender.
What are the challenges for black DJs, promoters and agents? What are the challenges?
Well, as an agent, I mean, unless I'm doing a podcast in front of a camera, nobody really knows what colour I am. I can't hide being female. Yeah. But nobody knows whether I'm black, white, green, or, you know, pink with blue spots. Yeah. And it shouldn't matter. And my ability to do the job is how I should be.
Yeah, 100%.
20 years ago, 10 years ago, if you're a promoter and you want to do a dance in that club over there, and you've seen other people do nights there, and you walk in and you don't get to do a night there, and you're given a bit of the cold shoulder, you kind of sometimes will be prejudged. If this black guy does, you know, something in my nightclub, who's going to come? What's the audience going to be? Especially like years ago, before really people knew how sort of funky this scene is.
I'm a big promoter who I'm cool with now, you know, and he's walked down the queue and said, "Not tonight, mate." And I looked at him. But you walked past 50 white people and you came to me. Yeah. This is a black promoter, you know.
You are 6'4" though.
And he said to me, and my friends who are all black, "Not tonight, mate."
I think we've all had that. You know what I mean? We've all had that. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I've never found challenges as a DJ because, like Brockie said, you're the man.
Yeah.
There's never been an issue in terms of colour as a DJ. As a promoter, yes. Will somebody allow me to come into their establishment and promote a night? And what's the audience going to be? Yes, many times.
You're stereotyped.
I had to sidestep that a few times. Didn't let it stop me. Always rose to the top and put on some wicked parties. And in the end, they'd be knocking on my door
Yeah.
to combat.
Yeah.
But the very first time you would walk into a club where you wanted to put something on, especially if they'd never done anything like that before, the first thing they would look at is colour your skin. I took my wife with me, Carol.
Yeah, Carol.
Many times. That was my little tactic. Sometimes you need a tactic.
You need a tactic.
I tell my wife.
Carol just looks the part as well.
Tactics.
Carol looks the part.
Looks the part.
Wow.
Opened, you know,
As soon as you
just to
said
be
that, I
with
just
me. It just lets man know, sir, man, you know,
Yeah.
the level I'm coming from.
Yeah.
It's wrong though that has to validate.
Yeah,
you, isn't
well,
it?
you know, not so much now.
No.
We're talking about 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I think now the only obstacles that would be there would be maybe the ones in your own head. Yeah. There should be no reason for colour to be an obstacle of why somebody can't play music.
Yeah, I don't think...
In this day and age.
As a DJ, I've never really faced any kind of racism, like, as a DJ. Do you know what I mean? And I've been all over the world. I think maybe just got some funny looks in some Eastern European country or something.
I think as a DJ...
Something like that. That's about it. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
the only thing that you can walk anywhere and do.
Yeah.
Because if they don't let you play, the party ain't running.
Yeah, that's right.
I always put it down to the individual.
Yeah.
It's how much you want it.
Yeah.
And what you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
I've never thought of put my had used my skin colour as an excuse for not furthering myself in my career.
Yeah, 100%.
Because my attitude towards that is that I know I've got to work harder than the white artists and be better.
Yeah.
But that's cool with me.
Yeah.
That's what drives me.
Yeah.
It doesn't hinder me. It makes me feel good.
Exactly the
So
same.
when I know when I get where I'm supposed to get, I feel good because I know I work bloody hard to do it. Let it bother other people. And if you've got to use it for your advantage, if you can, you know, use
Get
it
a
for your
little
advantage.
opportunity every now and again.
Every now and again, you've got to draw a card. You have to draw it, innit? You know what I mean? Why not?
There are not many black promoters now, though.
No.
Compared, you know, I think, you know,
Which is
that would in
which is a
itself
shame.
would make a
Yeah,
difference.
but the reason I think a lot of that is
lot of
down to because back then it was a hustle, it was a street movement. So if I'm talking about London vibe, you know, the London vibe, all the promoters I worked for were gangsters. Same on Frost worked for them, VIP, Desert Storm. These guys were hustlers. These are roadmen that made a good change doing the roads, and they thought, let's try something. Get this music, this jungle thing.
I want to get in this music.
I want to get some of this jungle. They're making money over there. That's how Jarvis came about. Yeah, he's a hustler, isn't it? I was counting how much black promoters are in the scene. I'm talking big black promoters who make a change, and without sounding, to be honest with you, I can only think of one.
It's a bit like in football where you got a lot of black players,
Yeah.
but you didn't have many black managers or coaches or
Up to
whatever.
now, still.
And in this, it's a bit like you got lots of black DJs, but you got not many agents. Well, not many people in PR, press, in magazines, and so.
The thing about being a promoter is something that you choose to do. In football, is like they give you an opportunity. But if you want to be a promoter a rave promoter, you can if you've got the money. Tania, in terms of your achievements on the scene, what are you most personally proud of?
Still being here. Still being here. 28 and a half years later, still being
That's a long
here.
time. You put in a hell of a shift.
I have no. Is it time to clock off yet? Yeah, just still being part of the scene.
Yeah.
You know, still being part of the scene. And I think, when one of the only female agents left. When I started, it was all
women.
All women, yeah, because we were
Caroline.
all partners and girlfriends of
that's
other
right,
people in the
that's
scene.
right.
The only flip side to that was Mark at ESP, because Ali Cat was the DJ and he was the agent.
Okay.
Yeah,
The other way around.
the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But you know now, yes, they're all.
Brockie?
Like Tania said, still being here.
Yeah.
Still getting appreciation from ravers and fellow artists. Playing to like I said to you before, going to areas where I'm the only black person and playing to a crowd. People might say, why do I even think like that? But I do think like that. Yeah. Playing to a crowd that's majority is all white and feeling like I'm breaking barriers.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I feel like I'm breaking barriers because you're appreciating me. So you can appreciate me, you can appreciate the next black person. Yeah. we're not all thugs. We are intellect. You know, some of us are very clever. I mean, just like any other race, you got good and bad. You know, and I think the rave scene's got the best of the black art. You know, the good of the black. You know, because we all love the music.
We're all creators.
And we're all open-minded. We don't see race. That's why we're into this music. Every black artist involved in jungle, drum and bass, if they had a racist view of life, that's the last music they'd be involved in. You're like,
so what are you most personally proud of?
I'm most proud of being there right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right at the very pivotal
even I know your story,
moment
Si. Even I know about the
when the whole
thing
thing started. You know, that means a lot to me. Yeah. And seeing it all come together, you know, I can tell you the stories, you know, of how it started, who was there, what they were doing. Music's taken me around the world, right? I've got on a plane, I've left London, I've gone to America. I've got on a plane, I've gone through America, I've gone to Hawaii, I've gone to Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, come back to England. I've gone around the world. Music's taken me around the world. That is crazy.
Yes.
I'm proud of that. To be able to do that shit.
It is a blessing. It's a blessing. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm going to move on, right? The other day, both me and Brockie posted this thing, yeah? It was originally on a Ministry of Sound Instagram
I saw
post.
it.
And it said, it listed all these things, all these music genres. Blues came from black culture, jazz, etc., etc. All came from black culture, yeah? Ministry of Sound posted it. I posted it. People started getting angry, saying, why am I posting stuff like that? I'm being divisive and whatever. I said, well, why don't you take it up with Ministry? No one wanted to take it up with Ministry. Like, they want to be angry with me. I got people telling me that techno originated in Europe. Like, literally really wanted to argue with me. Techno is from Detroit. Derek May, Juan Atkins, Kevin Saunderson, go and talk to the guys. Do your research. And people are really, really trying to tell me that it's from Europe. Because this is the problem that we got, yeah? We start things off, then people come and try and take it, yeah? It's the real. I was being real here. No, you're not doing it this time, yeah? Techno comes from Detroit. So what are your thoughts on this?
Boy, it's just small-minded people. It's people who are uneducated. It's people that must and can only be closet
racist
of some form or another.
100%.
Would not admit to it, but
I posted the same thing as Frost.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
You saw mine. I
did.
don't give a shit. You know, I'm like, someone said, come on there and said, yeah, but you blacks.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I got the tweet.
Yeah.
I got it here. I was actually going to.
I got trolled out something wrong.
You know, not. You know, yeah, but you blacks. That's what the guy said. Yeah. But you blacks, and I was like, bumba hole.
Yeah.
You mean black people, brother?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying you whites. So where you get you blacks from? You know,
Language, it's all in the language.
that's the sort of, like you said, it brings out the worst. If a white guy says to me, white guys made pop, I'm cool with that. I'm not upset. I don't care.
Let me tell you how bad it got the other day, yeah? When I posted that, someone said, yeah, well, who made the instruments? I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I know, it's silly.
All I know is that when a man said to me, who made the instruments, I was like, you know what?
done.
I'm done.
It's just pathetic. No, but it's silly. It gets, you know, and it's sad. It actually saddens me. When if I put something up to do, you know, black culture, and I find myself, I've got to defend it.
Yeah, that's what I was
Can't we talk about our achievements?
Yeah.
I got to defend what I'm putting up. Why have I got to defend it? Why?
Brockie, we are not allowed to talk about.
We're not allowed to talk about achievements. It's wrong.
Not allowed to celebrate them out loud, no?
We're not allowed to celebrate our thing.
We can't celebrate that.
Listen, what is the future for our music? What's the future?
Another 30 years at least.
Let's hope so, eh? Well, the future's definitely be much more women these days. That's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
It will if I have anything to do with it.
You know, we put your Tania on the case, right?
Anyway.
No, I mean, the future to me is going to be, it's only going to get bigger and bigger, isn't it? You know, we're drum and bass and jungle is a small print compared to the whole genre of music in the world. So we got so much more growth to do. The scene has got much more younger, which is great. The best thing about the scene to me is that why dubstep and certain other genres died out because the kids didn't follow it. Yeah. We're blessed. You know, we got people playing it to their 7, 8-year-old. We got 13-year-old DJs, 14-year-old DJs, 15, 16, 17, 18, 9. We're lucky. And we're blessed for that. The scene is only going to get bigger and bigger. You know,
drum and bass has influenced so much.
So much.
Pop music.
Pop culture.
But the scene is only going to get bigger and better and more healthier. The music, the production's going to get more better. Where our producer will get more better, you know, highlighted more because we're at the forefront of production, as far as I'm concerned.
I think so too.
I think going back to what we was talking about earlier with some of the incidents that happened in the lockdown and stuff, and I think now what I've seen in the last couple of years is it's really good to see that some of the older statesmen from the scene, like you know, your Kenny Kane, your Brockie, you know, people that may have quite easily have been missed out when the new kids on the block come, because of some of the incidents that have happened. It's made people look back at the historic DJs that have been part of this scene from the beginning, and give them more props for the people that have been instrumental in starting this thing up from the bottom to the, you know, to where we are now and going forward. We should be, you know, inspiring the young kids to take the scene forward. Yeah, you know.
What advice would you give to budding DJs and producers coming up now?
I always think that when you make music, you should try and do something that is not already there. You know, try and create something that is not already out there, something a bit different. Experiment a bit more. You know, I think it's producers very easy to just sort of do what's already being done instead of sort of trying to do something a little bit experimental, a little bit different.
My era of just, you know, as DJing, there were DJs. I didn't think about making tunes. I was a DJ. That was what I wanted to do. Yeah? Shypers was a DJ. I mean, was a producer.
He was a producer, yeah.
He didn't DJ. Dillinger did not DJ. He'd come and give us his dubs and he pissed off. Now, his buzz was hearing us play them and he's standing like that. You know what I'm trying to say? So the progression was always DJ, produce, now it's switch. It's produce, DJ. So when you're talking about the DJs, not DJ producers not moving their sound forward, but they're not moving it forward because they're DJs. You know, so if Frost has got a bad boy tune or you make a tune, they're like, I don't want that tune. Frost don't give me that. I make my own. To me, a producer, a proper producer shouldn't DJ. To me, I don't care anyone says. Everyone might see it differently, but if you're, you know, your love is just making music and make people dance, why do you need to play it? Well, that's where it's gone wrong, because all you're doing now, everyone that produces will play 10 of their
But you say that like it's a modern thing, and I don't think it is.
No, it's more a musical thing. Right,
Simon, you
but Simon started as a DJ.
Yeah, but he ran his label.
No, but he started as a DJ.
Yes.
And his thing, what I find is that people that produce, I'd play Frost, Simon, and your tune. If I'm producing, I'm playing 5 of mine first. Yeah?
Right.
You get my point?
Yeah.
The scene didn't grow like that. It wasn't a selfish thing. It wasn't like, I'm playing all mine. I played with man and they played only their own tunes. Yeah. Nobody else is.
Listen,
I don't care anyone says. That ain't right.
We've seen that more and more.
He's submitting his PRS set lists. That's
right. But to me, that's not the way forward.
The DJ,
so
the
what
producer.
advice do you give budding up and coming DJs?
Yeah.
My advice is to up and coming DJs is don't get caught in the bubble where it's all about your music. If you're a DJ, appreciate other people's music. Play their music. Play their music. Don't think, because Frosty's tune's better than mine, but I'm going to play mine. Play Frosty's tune. Make the people dance in front of you.
Sadly,
but not the tune's a great tune
at the moment as well.
Let the tune be heard by everybody. No, I'm going to play 20 of my tunes tonight. Why? Because I made them last night.
But that's not celebrating everybody as a
scene, that's the point, Tan.
Yes.
That's the difference between...
I get exactly what
you're
saying.
A real DJ will play
everybody.
Good music.
A real DJ
he doesn't care what
plays
it
music
is.
to make people
Yeah,
dance.
but the
It
new-
doesn't matter what it is.
Right, so
Right.
but the new
End of.
but,
So it
the
should
new,
be.
but the new generation I found of producers, not the old generation, the new generation.
Well, I think that's because they've had to produce to get a way in.
That's right.
You know, whereas we
We had to graph. We had to be good DJs.
we had to be good DJs.
Yeah.
We had to be.
We had to be good DJs.
We had to be good-
make people dance.
That was
We had
to be
to
good
We had to
DJs.
make people dance.
We had to be good
As you
DJs.
said. And that was it.
Simple as that.
We made people dance to funk,
you know,
soul,
it-
hip hop.
Our name wasn't
it
built.
was.
Our name wasn't built off a tune that we made last year. It was built off how we played at a rave last year
Yeah.
or last week.
But they're not going to catch, are they, if they're the only DJ playing them?
Tanya,
Yes.
what advice do you give budding DJs and producers?
Just know your craft. You've got to know it inside out. You know, it's like we were saying earlier on. Know the history of the scene, network, get to know people.
Just be nice. Don't be a prick.
Be nice.
Don't be a diva.
That's paramount. That is
Don't
paramount.
be a diva and don't think that your shit don't stink.
There's no need to be any other way, is there?
There seems to be a lot of this.
There's a lot of that though. Be humble when you know. I'm not. Everything balances out. What I've learned about DJing is that every dog has its day.
One word there, humble.
Yeah, be
Just
humble.
be humble. Be nice. Be humble. Work hard, network, and just be the best person that you can be.
And don't watch nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't watch
definitely.
no one.
Definitely don't watch
Don't watch
anyone.
what other people's doing.
Follow your own. Follow your
And
own
just do
path.
your thing.
Simon, I'm going to start with you on this, yeah? Who are your role models, like DJ, producer-wise, and heroes, and why?
Yeah, when I first started out, I was playing funk and soul, and I used to look up to Colin Curtis, who plays jazz and funk, Jonathan, Tim Westwood, very early on, Mike Shaft, Steve Walsh. These were DJs that were older than me that were doing their thing ahead of me, you know.
Yeah.
Then as time moved on, I have a lot of respect for the people that started this scene alongside myself. That would be yourself, Fabio Groove Rider, Mickey Finn. I've got a lot of respect to look up to you guys just for us all being around this scene in the very beginning and DJing and putting in the hard work.
Well, all of you lot really, innit? I wanted it. That's it really. I'll just all demand them really, you know, across the board. Like, you know, like Sai, you, Brian, Groove, Fab, Carl Cox, Loft Groover, Kenny Ken. I used to love Kenny Ken. Kenny Ken was one of the first DJs that recognised me.
I got a shout out actually. Des Mitchell was instrumental for me.
Des Mitchell.
Was instrumental.
Big up
for
Des
me.
Mitchell.
All you guys, really, the innovators of the scene, because without you, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
Before we go, let's hope that that your quest and your mission that I know you're on to promote more females.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's get some more inclusive.
The scene needs to be more diverse on the gender scale, but it's going to take effort from you guys as well, because you guys need to unite. You need to oil the wheels in respect of people respect your opinions. They look up to you guys, so they're looking for guidance from you guys. Well, girls are very different creatures to guys, you know, and they will take criticism very differently, especially when it comes from their peers, you know, and that's why I was saying earlier on, it's really, really important that you support the talent.
Yeah, we need to be kinder to them, and we need to...
It's just support the talent. Just support the talent.
To be more supportive. So listen,
Come on.
we're gonna bring it to a close now. I want to thank Brockie, Tania, Simon. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming down.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
We had a great conversation
Thank you.
here.
It's been great.
It's Black History Month special, and it was a pleasure to have you guys in. Right, another Frost Report done. See you guys later. Peace.
I get high,